Hi everyone, my name is Bo Sanders. I want to tell you about my top 10 theologians. This is one of those cool memes that's going around the Twitter sphere, and I got tagged in it, and I knew exactly the 10 folks that I wanted to tell you about. The first is Randy Woodley, Shalom in the Community of Creation. He is my mentor, he was my professor in seminary, and he is currently my co-host. We partner together on a podcast called Piecing It All Together. He has influenced me so much, and I'm delighted to be partnering with him in that endeavor. The second is Bonnie Miller-MacLemore. In my field of practical theology, she's sort of my go-to. In the last 10 years, she's provided real direction on the field and fleshing out the 4 layers that it operates at. I quote her often. The third person is Sheila Graves Devaney. She edited one of my favorite books. It was Theology at the End of Modernity. And it's a series of essays honoring Gordon Kaufman. But her chapter in there brought her to my attention. And since then, I have sought out her other works. And I just love the way she writes and the thoughts that come through. I quote her a lot. Fourth is James Cone, Black Theology of Liberation and the Cross and the Lynching Tree. If you have not read Cone, you should buckle up before beginning that endeavor, but it is amazing, amazing stuff if you have not encountered that. Next is Wolfhard Pannenberg. I quote Pannenberg most about prolepsis, especially around Easter time, and about the ontological priority of the future. His book, Jesus, God, and Man, is obviously it's a thick thing and it takes forever, but he has been very influential on me. Elizabeth Johnson, She Who Is and The Quest for the Living God. I probably recommend those 2 books more than any other, especially for young women and men who are training for ministry as seminaries. Stephen Bevens and Robert Schreiter, Constructing Local Theologies and Models of Contextual Theologies, they often get paired together, Bevens and Schreiter, as contextual theology. I wrote my master thesis on that, and it still really provides for me a framework by which I do not my academic work, but definitely my pastoral work. Richard Twiss, Rescuing the Gospel from the Cowboys, was published after his passing. We Dance Our Prayers is probably one of his most famous essays, famous works, and it really changed the way I think both about prayer and religion in general, but very much about contextualizing the gospel for our place and our time. Elaine Graham is somebody I just love reading her. More her articles than her books, but this book, Transforming Practice, and there's another one, Making the Difference. She has been very influential on me, and every time she puts out a new article, I'm always so excited when I stumble on to some of her newer work. She does a great job with the postmodern thought and post-secular society. And then lastly, I wanted to give a shout out to Paul Tillich. I love Paul Tillich, and he was prolific, and I have several of his books. The Courage to Be was a great one, Theology of Culture, and Dynamics of Faith. I most often talk about the ground of being as sort of one of the things he's famous for, and I just wanted to give a shout out to a classic theologian like Paul Tillich and how he has influenced the conversation. I would love to hear from you, your top 10. Ask any questions that you want. I will link to the works of these 10. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching.